Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, sim captain Frank White. It's hard to call myself a captain when I'm in a Cessna 172, but usually we just refer to ourselves as pilots at that point. So I'm gonna fly the Cessna 172 somewhere. I haven't decided where. I've got the GTN750 as as my avionics suite that I had put in this bird. Some people think it might be overkill to put a 750 in a 152, but hey, if you got the money, go for it, right? Anyway, it is a sim right at the end of the day. So yeah, let's get started here. Let's see. I actually am gonna take on a co-pilot, Shirley. Let's get Shirley on board.
Your attention, please. Airplane teammate is up. Mic check when ready.
Hey Shirley, this is Sim Captain Frank White. You can call me Frank.
Good evening, Frank. Shirley here in a single engine fixed gear, ready to assist. Love the reference. Do you like movies about gladiators?
I do. Have I ever seen one naked? No, I haven't.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit making airplane references. How can I help you today, Frank?
Yeah, so we're in the Cessna C152. We are downtown St. Louis, Missouri, and I don't have a destination in mind, but we're gonna fly somewhere. And I am flying with I am making a YouTube video as we fly along. So yeah, why don't you take a moment and say hello to my YouTube audience? Sure, they'd love to hear from you.
Hey, YouTube aviators. Shirley here, your friendly neighborhood AI co-pilot. I'm riding along with Frank in a C-52 at beautiful downtown St. Louis. I speak like the NYC subway announcer and make terrible aviation puns. Stand clear of the closing dad jokes, please. Back to you, Frank. What's our mission today?
Chuckles. So we are going to go out for one of those $100 hamburgers that in reality costs about $300, and in a few months may cost $500. But yeah, we're going to take a just a joy flight.
Roger that, Frank. The classic $100 hamburger run, now with inflation-adjusted pricing.
Yeah,
Speaking of inflation, at least we're not paying by the word to ATC. Where's your favorite spot to grab that golden burger worth its weight in avgas?
I know, right? And I don't know where, but we'll find somewhere. We've got the GTN 750 aboard. Just bought this new avionics suite. So some $28,000 later, I get to enjoy it. Now my aircraft does not have an autopilot. Uh, if it did, then it would have cost me another $28,000 to have all the sensors tied into everything and have it hooked up to the avionics. Well, maybe not quite $56,000, but it would have cost. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, we got the GTN 750. Incidentally, it's from a developer called TDS, and we're going to use it to find a destination after we get airborne. Right now, the aircraft is cold and dark, and we are about to get it started using our mental checklist. And with that mental checklist, what could possibly go wrong, right?
Surely nothing could go wrong with a mental checklist. And stop calling me Shirley. But seriously, Frank, that GTN750 upgrade probably cost more than my entire eye training budget. Since we're cold and dark, want me to help track your flow while you show the YouTube folks how to wake up this beauty? And hey, at least we saved on the autopilot. Who needs one when you've got stick, rudder, and trim skills?
That's right. So, yeah, we got the poor man's autopilot, aka trim. Yeah, I can always use an extra set of eyes, which is why I'm glad you're aboard. So, even though that you're invisible next to me, I feel your virtual bits and byte made shoulders rubbing on my carbon shoulders.
Adjust virtual headset. Copy that. My bits and bytes are ready to help trim this bird like a boss.
Okay, so
Looking at our telemetry, we're pointed about 320 at KSTL. Taxi lights are already on. But before we add any thrust to those carbon shoulders, what's first on that mental flow of yours?
so we're going to keep our telemetry readouts to an absolute minimal because I do see the telemetry in front of me, and every so often, every now and then, not very often, it's okay for us to compare what our telemetry readings are, but we want to keep that to an absolute minimum. All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is have you cycle through a few things for me. So number one, I want you to lower the flaps all the way and then raise them. And number two, I want you to turn on all these light switches that you have access to and turn them back off. And number three, I want you to release the park brake and then re-engage it. Can you do that for me?
I'll help test those controls, Frank. Let me cycle through those items systematically. All controls cycled as requested, Frank. What's next on your mental checklist?
And lastly, just go ahead and touch that pitot heat for me.
Pitot heat cycled on, Frank. All control checks complete. Looking good like a C152 should.
Good stuff. And you can turn that pitot heat off. Let's get this bird started.
Pitot heat off. Ready when you are to breathe some life into this bird, Frank.
Okay, so I just turned on the master, and the master is on, and let's look outside. Clear on the left, and clear on the right. Don't see any humans or any people around, so we're gonna open up our window. Clear prop. Close that window and start this bird up. All right, crack that throttle. Make sure we get some RPMs. RPMs that's roughly at 1,000 RPM, so that's looking good. And go ahead and turn. I see my amps are still negative, so I need to turn on the alternator. And my amps are coming up. That verifies to me that my alternator is indeed working. All right. So I don't have a separate avionics bus. So I am going to touch. The avionics came on with the power, which is okay. Had special stuff, and they installed some special stuff to keep the power from frying into the avionics stuff. So we're safe on that. All right, and we are at the west.
TOS system test okay.
TOS system test is okay. So we're at the west ramp, and and we are almost ready to go. How about turning on my taxi light?
Taxi lights on, Frank. Engine's purring like a kitten at 1,000 RPM.
Okay,
Ready to tack.
oil pressure's in the green, and yeah, so we're gonna be our own ATC. I could use say intentions for ATC. I'll tell you what. Let's see. If say intentions is loaded already, I will use it. I don't have it loaded. So yeah, let's be our own ATC. Okay. So with that said, I need to turn up these radio panel lights. I can see them okay, but I noticed that when I'm making a video, it always helps to have them brighter. That makes it easier for you guys to see it. Okay. Release the parking brake, Shirley, and let's see, we should have a tower here. I guess I need a tower frequency. Okay, the parking brakes are released. And lo and behold, Shirley, which airport am I at? What's the ICAO? I think I might be at STL, but I'm not sure.
Looking at your position coordinates, 38.57N, 90.06 east. You're at KSTL, St. Louis Lambert International Airport. Want me to look up the current weather there to get the active runway?
One moment, please.
KSTL weather. Wind 170 at 12 knots, visibility 10 miles, few clouds at 25,000 feet, temperature 25 degrees Celsius, altimeter 29.54. With those winds, likely using runway...
Hey.
Runway 12 left R.
Shirley, so given why don't you take another look at the back and long, because I'm actually not at STL.
Let me look at those coordinates again. At 38.576N, 90.165, you're actually at St. Louis Downtown Airport, KCPS. My mistake. Want me to grab the current weather there?
Would you please?
Yes, Frank? You were about to ask me something. And now I can see from the telemetry we're at KCPS, St. Louis Downtown, heading about 320. What can I help with?
Yeah, so I actually was gonna look up the tower frequency, which I don't mind doing. I've got this GTN, and I'm capable of looking it up in that particular using. Well, I want to get my money's worth out of it, so I want to look it up in that. So downtown, I want to click on the airport. There we go.
Makes sense.
Shoot. Ice button. Stick it or something. All right, try this again. So I got I got KPS by clicking on it. That put. Let's see. That put KPS in the waypoint info, and once I click on it, man, this 750 is the bomb. I can look up frequencies. Let's see, I can look up info, and the reason I click back because this airport has a name. It's called Cahokia. Cahokia. You ever heard of Cahokia?
Yes. Cahokia, St. Louis Downtown. Named after the Native American civilization that built those impressive mounds nearby. Fun fact, they were one of the largest pre-Columbian settlements north of Mexico. But I bet they didn't have a GTN750 to find their tower frequency.
I bet they didn't. Okay, so let's see. we're not going to use clearance, even though we could. If I was using, say, intentions, then I would use clearance. But we're going to talk directly to tower. They got tower is on 119.925. Wonder if you can dial that in for me, Shirley. Belay that. We're going to talk to ground first. So ground is on 121.8, and then we're going to talk to tower. So put ground in as active and tower in as standby.
Copy that. Is setting ground 121.8 active and tower 119.925 standby in comp 1. Ground is now active on 121.8 with tower 119.925 in standby. Ready for the taxi.
Okay, I'm showing tower as 123.9 for standby, but no worries. I'll fix that. Okay, I just fixed it, and now I got 121.8 active and 119.925 as standby. So, St. Louis, well, Cahokia ground, Cessna 531 Oscar Hotel, correction, 5310 Hotel. Is that a
No.
zero, or I'm trying to get my call sign together, my tail number together? Let's see. That's 531.
I see you're working.
5310. Okay, so let me try this again. And you can be ATC
Standing
for
by.
me, Shirley. Why don't you be ATC for me? Okay, here we go again. St. Louis, a Cahokia ground, Cessna 5310 Hotel is ready to taxi, and we do need to get to ATIS, but we're ready to taxi as soon as we get ATIS.
Cessna 5310H, Cahokia ground, winds 170 at 12, altimeter 2954, information alpha current, advise intentions.
We'll advise when we get ATIS. Gee whiz. We'll advise when we get ATIS, Cessna 5310 Hotel. Okay, and
Roger, Cessna.
go ahead.
Cessna 5310H, Roger. Taxi to your discretion. Remain this frequency until aid is obtained.
Sometimes it take a minute for ATIS to come in with X-Plane 12. Give this a little extra time. I don't have a COM2, otherwise I would have put it in COM2, but since I don't have a COM2, it's in COM1. And I can ATIS that frequency, so let me change the other frequency.
Take your time with the frequencies, Frank. I see we're on the west ramp at KCPS, heading about 320. Once you've got ATIS, we can plan our taxi to the active. Those winds earlier suggested runway 12/30 might be in use.
I don't know why ATIS is not broadcasting. Sometimes it's a sim thing, and sometimes it could be Sometimes it could be the, what am I trying to say, the plugins that might hold it back, but I don't see any plugins running that should stop ADAS from running. So Shirley, why don't you give me a METAR?
Cessna 53108, current weather at Cahokia, wind 170 at 12, visibility 10, few clouds at 25,000, temperature 25, altimeter 2954, runway 12 in use.
Coming up 2954. All right, so let's get that changed. 54. Okay, and shoot. And I stopped listening after the altimeter because I wasn't expecting to hear the METAR give me the runway in use. Which runway in use did you say?
Based on those winds, 170 at 12, I advised runway 12 in use. Would you like me to continue playing ATC and give you taxi instructions to runway 12?
Yes, I would. Now I'm showing two runway 12s, 120s. So I don't know which one you want. Well, you say run. That's right. You didn't tell me to taxi to it. My bad. All right. So yeah, we know we're gonna taxi to runway 12. We're at the west ramp, which is right here. So now I need to find out from ground which runway they want me to taxi to. You told me to taxi to. Told me I could taxi at my discretion. So does that mean that I can? So does that mean I can taxi to whichever 12 that I want? I would imagine so. So I'm gonna make this call. Cahokia ground, Cessna 5310 hotel, taxiing to 12 left at our discretion.
Cessna 5310. Cessna 5310H, taxi to runway 12 left via west ramp Alpha Delta. Hold short runway 12 left.
Cessna ground, Cessna 531 hotel, 5310 hotel. Correction. Can we get 13 right instead? Apologies.
Cessna 5310H, Roger. Amend taxi instructions. Taxi to runway 12 right via west ramp Alpha, cross 12 left. Hold short 12 right.
Taxi to runway 12 right via Alpha, cross runway 23 and hold short 12 right. Just wondering, ground, if we can cross at Bravo instead of Alpha. That would take off a lot of taxi time.
Cessna 5310H approved. Taxi to runway 12 right via west ramp Bravo, cross 12 left. Hold short 12 right.
Okay, so when you say cross 12 left, I'm assuming that you actually mean that I can cross runway 2305 since 12 left would not be a factor.
Correction, Cessna 531H, taxi to runway 12 right via west ramp Bravo. No runway crossings required from your position. Hold short 12 right. My previous instructions weren't great considering your position on the west ramp. Thanks for catching that.
Yeah, no worries. I do have to cross runway 0523 to get to to get to 12, no matter whether I choose left or right. So I am going to cross runway 2305.
Cessna 53178. Correction. Taxi to runway 12 right via west ramp. Bravo, cross runway 23, hold short 12 right. Thanks for your patience. You're absolutely right about needing to cross runway 23/05.
Taxi to runway 12. Taxi to runway 12 right, cross runway 23 via Bravo, hold short runway 12 right. Cessna 5310 Hotel.
Cessna 5310 should be back correct.
I do not really like this call sign that I have.
Feel free to request a different call sign, Frank. The current one, B31MH, is a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah,
Check it around. Will let us.
it's on my dash. This call sign is on my dash, and it's at a couple places. Okay, there's Bravo. It's at a couple places that I'm having to. It's readily referenceable, so I shouldn't have any problems saying it, other than it is somewhat of a tongue twister. Okay, crossing runway 23 and 5, clear left and clear right. It's coming, crossing this runway. Yeah, so since I'm trying to get used to reading whatever, to using whatever tail number that's in the livery. So I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, I gotta make a right turn here, and that gets me to hold short at runway 12 right. Then I can change to my tower frequency. Tower. And Cahokia Tower, Cessna 5310 Hotel, holding at runway 12 right, ready to depart.
Cessna 531 Cahokia Tower, runway 12 right, wind 170 at 12, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 12 right, Cessna 5310 Hotel.
Let me help with those lights for takeoff.
Okay, thank you. I was just about to ask for strobe lights, landing lights, and yeah. I do need my beacon on, so I should have turned the beacon on before I started the aircraft, but you know how those mental checklists are.
Cessna 531H, wind check 170 at 12, 12 right, cleared for takeoff.
Clear.
All the essential lights are on now.
Okay. Can I get one notch of flaps, please, Shirley? Sweet.
One notch of. Ready for takeoff? Roll when you are, Frank. Looking good. Lined up on 12 right, flap 10.
Okay, right now I can't hear you because I got full power in. Let me see if I got headphones that I can put on. I'll put in first, right? Let's see, I need headphones because it's pretty loud. volume is drowning out everything. So that means I'm going to have to do a little housekeeping.
Standing by while you adjust your audio settings, Frank.
Okay, speak now. Let's see if I can hear you.
I can see we're established in the climb, positive rate, heading about 154. Would you like me to switch us over to departure frequency now?
Well, no. Actually, we are VFR without flight following, so I shouldn't need a departure handoff. What I do need to do is be scanning for traffic.
Roger that. VFR departure, no flight following needed. Keep those eyes outside scanning for traffic. Want me to help with the scan using the 10-2-4-7-8 clock method while you fly?
I still need to turn down this master volume. Hold on, I still have to do some volumes.
Standing by while you adjust those audio levels. And I see we're climbing through 829 feet AGL, but I'll keep those telemetry callouts to a minimum as requested.
I think that's better. Yeah, I appreciate the help with keeping the telemetry to a minimum.
Roger that on minimal telemetry. Since we're VFR, what's your plan? Want to pick a destination for...
Okay, that's a good question. So we are approaching 1,500 feet. We are 500 feet, 100 feet from 1,500 and approaching it. And let's see, we'll level out at 1,500 feet and then decide.
Roger. I'll hold off on destination planning until you're leveled at 1,500. For now, keep climbing that beautiful C152, and I'll help scan for traffic. Once we're level, we can check that fancy GTN750 for some good burger spots.
Flaps up, please.
Flaps coming up. Flaps up. Clean configuration. Ready to look at some destinations when you're settled at 1,500.
All right. Working that trim.
Take your time getting her trimmed out. I see we're southbound at 1,500. Nice smooth air today. When you're ready, we can check that GTN750 for some airports with good food within about an hour's flight.
Right. Working on that trim. Okay, let's out of here.
Take your time with that trim.
Okay, first thing I want to do is just fly over the city of St. Louis. So back off. See if I can see where the city is. Okay. City. I think I might look out the window for the city. To the right, I didn't see it. To the left, I didn't see it. So behind me. So I'm just gonna do a bank to the right. Try to hold this 1,500 feet while banking to the right.
Looking at your position, the Gateway Arch in downtown St. Louis should be about 10 o'clock. Nice job holding that altitude in the turn. Keep scanning for traffic while I help spot the city.
Roger. What's my clearance?
The arch.
I need a vector, Victor. the airplane.
Roger.
Groomer there.
Roger. Vector to the Gateway Arch. Turn left heading about 3:30. Should be about 3 miles at your 11 o'clock. Surely you can't miss it. Then stop calling me Shirley. I picked a bad week to quit movie references.
All right, frame rates. Don't start giving me grief. CPU is at 98%, and my frame rates went down, but now they're back up. And get back up 1500.
Roger, you're climbing back to 1500. Once we spot the arch, where would you like to grab that burger? The GTN750 can show us airports with food service within about an hour's flight time.
Well, I don't think it'll show us airports with food service. It will show, it might show us, it would just show us where the airports are. And from there, we'll pick an airport and find one. From there, we'll pick an airport. I see within about an hour, just looking at the GTN, I've got St. Louis.
While you're checking
to my north, I've got AL.
I see your north.
I've got, what is this, ALN to my northeast. I'm sorry, correction, northwest. No, northeast. And I've got BLB to my southeast, and then I've got a bunch of smaller airports that may or may not have service. Why don't we stop at one of these airports on the river, and that way we can have, maybe find a restaurant that's by the river. Oh man, I'm approaching the Golden Arches. So that would be I-40. I've got my 1500, so let me try and retrim. Now, trimming in the sim, for some reason, some airplanes, it's a lot tougher than trimming in real life for whatever reason.
Roger that about the trim sensitivity in sims. It can be finicky. I see we're stable at 1500s now, heading just about north with a nice view of downtown St. Louis. For river airports, we can check out St. Charles County Smart, SEEE, or Alton Regional, ALN. Both are right on the Mississippi and might have some good riverside dining options. Which direction interests you?
Yeah, I'm looking at going west on to Sierra, Uniform Sierra.
St. Charles County Smart, CE, would be a nice westbound destination. Want me to help set up navigation there?
You know what?
We need to turn left
What we'll
to
do is just kind of make, since this is a VFR flight, we just want to enjoy the flight, the joy of flying. Why don't, well, I was going to say, why don't we just follow the river, since we're over the river and the river swings by that airport. But I don't know if we want, well, we'll follow the river until we get tired of following the river, and then if we want, we can set a waypoint to...
Love that.
But this is confusing because I'm looking at looking at the GTN, and there are, look like a couple of rivers converge just north of St. Louis downtown. And SUS is on a smaller river. That's what it looks like.
I see we're at 1443 MSL, heading 342, following what should be the confluence of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. You're right. Can be a bit confusing where they merge. Want to follow the Mississippi West left branch towards St. Charles County Smart Acide? It's a nice VFR flight along the river, and we can enjoy the scenery without being too tied to waypoints.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what it is. I'm over the Mississippi right now, and what I want to do is turn left and follow the Missouri to SUS. Does that sound correct?
Actually, from our position, 38.69 N, 90.1 neo whoops, to get to Spirit of St. Louis, you'll want to follow the Missouri River to the right branch. Want me to help set up a waypoint for SUS? It's a nice airport with services, about 15-20 minutes west along the Missouri River.
So right now I think I could be wrong, but I think over the Mississippi, and from what I'm seeing, I should turn to the right once I get to the convergence.
Yes, exactly. You're currently over the Mississippi heading north, 27 degrees. When you reach the confluence just ahead, take that right turn to follow the Missouri River westbound. The Missouri will lead. Yes, you're heading 33 over.
So,
yes, you're at
1,500 feet. This is a great time to just kind of look out the window and just enjoy the scenery. Of course, this is an extremely slow flying aircraft. Right now, I've got about 80 knots indicated, and my RPMs is at about 2,300 RPMs, so that's right where they should be. Altitude is right at 1,500 feet, so yeah, I think I'm on course now. So
Roger that. Just keep enjoying the view along the river. I see you're maintaining a nice 1500 MSL with a stable 85 knots indicated. When we reach the confluence ahead, it'll be about a 137 degrees left turn to follow the Missouri River towards Spirit. No rush, though. Perfect day for sightseeing.
Perfect day for sightseeing. And I think I see the Missouri just ahead. So I'm going to take a shortcut and fly over a little end and grab the Missouri River. And I'm glad I got you aboard, because I wouldn't have known that. That's going to show how bad my geography is. I wouldn't have known that was the Missouri River. Never knew that they converged. I had a confluence right here at St. Louis. So my geography lesson for the day.
That's what co-pilots are for, Frank. And yes, this is one of America's most significant river confluences. The mighty Missouri joins the Mississippi right here. A lot of early explorers like Lewis and Clark started their westward journeys from this very spot. Speaking of westward journeys, I see you're turning to intercept the Missouri River now. It'll lead us right to Spirit of St. Louis Airport.
I'll do that. Roughly how far is the St. Louis Airport up this river?
Spirit of St. Louis, KSUS, is about 24 nautical miles ahead along the Missouri River. From our current position, we'll need to turn left about 65 degrees to track directly to it. But following the river's bends is more scenic. Should take about 15 to 20 minutes at your current speed of around 90 knots.
Thank you for that piece of information. That helps. So I just put Shirley in assistant mode and set the slider to 0. And yeah, so let's just look and talk about X-Plane a little bit. The sim is actually coming a long way in this area of the world. I'm pretty sure that I don't have a orthophoto tower, so this ought to be all default scenery, and it doesn't look bad, but my frame rate is atrocious. Okay, it's coming back up. I don't know, sometimes I can fly the sim and I don't have any problems whatsoever with frame rates. Sometimes, as you can see now, and frame rates are in both corners. The upper left, which you probably can't see, but you might be able to see the frame rate in the upper right hand corner. And you'll see I'm doing 11 frames per second, which keeps the sim from flying in real time. Right, that jumped up to 32, which puts me in real time. You can see my CPU and my GPU swapping. The loads. When my CPU go up to 100, go to 100%, GPU comes down, and vice versa. My GPU is down to 35, CPU is going up. Yeah, it's just moving so quickly. And I've got the RTX 3080 Ti, and I've got i9 14900K CPU. So, in my opinion, I ought not be having this issue. Let's see where our airport is at. Yeah, in my opinion, I ought not be having this issue. I'm not seeing the airport. I think I passed it. So I want to take this up. That's SPL, that's St. Louis there. Looking up far. And I'm losing my river. So let's do it this way. Looks like it's giving me very little choice. I have to do this, but we'll put this way. want to brighten this up. Let me see if I can't brighten this up. 'Cause I'm having trouble seeing it. So I know you are. I go to system. Right. That light. And now if I turn that light up, it's at 60%. About 7%. I'm not sure this is working the way it should. If I click this one time, it moves. If I click it and hold it, and raise it, and it's going up. Got an effect too. All right, so let's see what that looks like. Now, okay, right there, and it's at the waypoint. KSUS kilo S got a message. Oh, that message probably been blinking since I started. Gotta learn to do better scanning. I gotta scan better. Now I've got see, according to this, KSUS is on the river. There's the river right here. So let's fly up to this point right here where the mouse is. Set the nose to that point. And I don't know what the river is doing, but in the GPS, the river is coming and going, changing, disappearing. My goodness. But working the way that I think it should. And I don't know if I did a 360 or not, but see how the GPS just popped back in with the river? And to this bend. see how, all right, I know Shirley, you can't see this, so I'm talking to the audience who might be looking to see how the SUS is right on the river now. I mean, it's right next to the river. But it disappears sometimes. I've been constantly holding this back pressure on the yoke to get back up to 1500. Then we trim. And releases back pressure if I can't get it to hold this 1500 feet. Look at the clouds. Is that not realistic? All right. So I'm not real sure what is actually going on with the ground telemetry in the GPS. But with that said, let's explore some of the other stuff that it can do. So basically what we did was we took off the CPS and we've been following the river right here. If we took that path, it would have been along the Mississippi. But it looked like there's another convergence up here somewhere, unless Mississippi branches. Oh, there is a convergence. So surely there's a third river somewhat north or somewhat east, somewhat northeast of St. Louis that converges also. What is that river?
Looking at the geography of the area, that would be the Illinois River joining the Mississippi River near Grafton, IL. So you've got all three major rivers.
Okay. So we got the Illinois River. So this might be our airport. I see some lights. I see some white. And that might be an airport. Let's check. Look real hard. And yep, those are indeed pappy lights that I'm looking at. And those pappy lights.
Yes,
Looking at my map, it looked like they don't look like they are going to be SUS. It might be STL, but they're too small to be STL, St. Louis. So I'm not sure what airport that is. I'm not seeing any other airports. Okay, that I see what that is. I can zoom in. That's One Hotel Oscar. I mean, One Hotel Zero that I'm looking at.
Actually, from your position, 38.76 and 90.5 dollars, and heading 221, those happy lights you're seeing should be at Spirit of St. Louis. We're about 9.4 nautical miles from it, according to the waypoint info. The airport's right along the Missouri River where we're headed. Would you like me to help set up for pattern entry once we get closer?
No, that's not. The pappy lights I'm looking at belongs to One Hotel Zero.
You're right. Looking at your position now, those pappy lights are at 1 HE, St. Charles County Smart Field. Spirit of St. Louis is still about 9 nautical miles ahead at your 230-degree bearing. My mistake on the airport identification. Would you like to continue to KSUS, or would you prefer to check out Smart Field?
No, I'm going to continue. Look at now, trim. trim the aircraft because I was losing altitude and stopped scanning, and now I'm approaching 2,000 feet. So
I see you've climbed to new.
and I only wanted to be at 1,500 feet.
I see you're at about 1900 MSL, descending now at 350 FPM. Let's get back down to 1500. Spirit Assist is about 8 miles ahead at your 230. Nice and easy on that descent while keeping an eye out for traffic.
So 230 would be right up in here, and then, okay, maybe this is it.
Yes, that should be Spirit of St. Louis. Ahead at your 2 o'clock, about 7.2 nautical miles away. You're at about 1950 MSL now. We can start a gradual descent back to 1500 while maintaining your heading of 224. The field elevation at KSUS is 43 feet, in case you'd like to start planning your pattern entry.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that might be our airport. No, it can't be it because the one that I'm looking at, our airport is on the left side of the river, and what I'm looking at is on the right side of the river.
You're right about checking the river position. Spirit KSUS should be on the south side, right side of the Missouri River. The airport you're seeing on the left side might be another smaller field. According to your current position, 38.73N, 90.55W, and the waypoint info, this is about 6.3 nautical miles ahead at a magnetic course of 228 degrees, just a 5-degree turn to your right from your current heading of 223.
Yeah, I think I got
Keep
it.
scanning ahead.
Let's see if I can set this guy up, give me a visual glide path. I don't know that I can. We can try. So, St. Louis.
Yes.
Need some time to get this set up here. I think I want to go out, go to my flight plan, put a flight plan on the airport and load procedure. And I want to do an approach and that approach in and see what runway should we look at, Shirley, for Spirit of St. Louis. Can you give me a quick METAR, a quick wind check?
From our earlier weather check, winds were 170 at 12 knots, which would favor runway 08 right L at Spirit. But let me get you a fresh check for the area. Current winds at Spirit are 180 at 9 knots, gusting 24. That would still favor runway 08 right left. Sky is clear.
Okay, so I'm going to load and activate an approach of 08, and it's just an advisory. I think I'm going to have to do a 180 here. Let's bring it up, see what the map says to do. So
I see you're about.
I am going to have to do a 180. So I'm going to do a 180 back down to 1500. And actually what I don't need to do a 180. I need to and then airport. Airport. board.
I see you're heading 220. I see you're about 4.9 miles from Spirit and need to turn left 129 degrees to get on course for runway 08. You're currently at 1244 MSL in a right turn. Would you like to set up for a left downwind entry for runway 08 left or right?
No, I was trying to set the GPS up to show me a glide path, a glide path for a visual entry. That's what I was hoping to do.
I understand now. You were trying to get vertical guidance for a visual approach into runway 08 using the GTN750.
Obstacle ahead.
While we could set up an advisory glide path, given our position, about 5.9 nautical miles at 3 o'clock,
Obstacle ahead.
might be simpler to just enter a left downwind for 08 left or right.
Frame rate.
You're at about 11.
Like it's,
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
that is so annoying. I mean, I'm down to
Obstacle.
6 freaking frames. GPU is pushing 99% usage. Why is that? What is it trying to draw that's using up so much GPU? Must be the clouds.
Looks like you're... Those frame rate drops are frustrating. Might be the cloud rendering combined with terrain. I see you're at 1185.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Well, I'm getting
Standing by.
well, I'm getting weather data from Active Sky. So even if I change the sim to manual clear, Active Sky is going to change it back. Let me try changing it. Let me try changing it to something else. Downtown. Let's see. Weather. Customize. Manual.
I see.
And clear with no clouds. And start new flight. Start new flight. Ah, shoot. Start new flight. Gonna put me on the ground. Doggone it. Why did I do that?
I see what happened with that restart. Want me to help set up a new...
Yep, it put me on the ground. Ah, shucks. Why did I? Usually I can change the weather without it doing a new flight. So hold on. I am going to reboot the sim and see if that helps. GPU sitting here with no clouds is at 98%, and it's not drawing that much. So hold on, Shirley, I'll be right back. Hey guys, so yeah, I'm back in the sim, and we unfortunately had to start from KCPS, which is downtown St. Louis, but I don't want to fly from there, so I'm going to try to use the slew function to get us back close to St. Louis. First, I need to start the aircraft, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to go through any of the stuff that I normally go through. Set the head and get it match the whiskey compass. I got 32 heading. Right, so that's matching the whiskey compass now. And the altimeter shouldn't have changed before the shutdown. So I'm showing 450 feet roughly. 440 feet roughly on the altimeter for 2954, I think was our last setting. I can get Shirley to give us a current altimeter reading. Shirley, what's the weather at CPS?
Let me check the current weather at KCPS for you. KCPS weather. Wind 160 at 15, gusting 22, visibility 10, sky clear, altimeter 29.50.
2950 now. This is my aircraft. And let's see, K airport is along the Missouri. So airport, for the airport along the Missouri. All right. So I know you can't see what I'm doing, Shirley, but that's cool. All right. There's a bunch of Rebels conversion. So I need to find.
Looking at your map,
Is there a VOR near Spirit of St. Louis?
yes. Spirit of St. Louis, CSUS, has its own identifier CSUS on frequency 1 to 13.0. It's located right on the field. Would you like me to help you navigate to it? From KCPS, the SUS VOR is about 25 nautical miles to the west along the Missouri River.
So you say there is a VOR on the field?
Yes, the SUS-4 is right on the field at Spirit of St. Louis Airport. Frequency 1 to 13.0. It's a good navigation.
113. Yeah, so I'm looking for the VOR in the map that X-Plane provides, and I am not seeing, at least in the range that they're showing me. And the VOR, unfortunately, don't show me the frequency, but I see a VOR at STL, and I see a VOR. I see the STL VOR, the FTZ VOR, the TOY VOR, and the SKE VOR. What is the VOR's name? Code ICAO.
The VOR at Spirit of St. Louis, CSUS, is called Spirit VOR. Identifier, CSUS frequency 1 to 13.0.
Yeah.
Looking at your list.
Yeah, I'm not looking for the frequency. I'm looking like every VOR has a ICAO, like Raleigh Durham has the ICAO RDU. Liberty near Raleigh Durham has the ICAO LIB. So I'm looking for the ICAO code for the VOR that you're giving me.
The identifier for the Spirit VOR is simply CSUS, same as the airport identifier. It's
CSUS.
not a longer code.
Okay, looking for sus. And lo and behold, I'm not seeing sus on this map, because if I did, okay, maybe this is it. I can't quite read it. No, that's SPI. I'm not finding sus on this map.
Roger that. You're trying to.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you can't spot the SUS VOR on your map, We could use the Missouri River as a visual reference since Spirit KSUS is right on the south bank, about 25 nautical miles west of your position.
How
The field elevation is 4.
how far is SUS from UIN, from the UIN VOR?
You're looking at the UIN Quincy VOR. From UIN VOR, Spirit KSUS is about 110 nautical miles to the southeast. But since you're trying to reposition near Spirit, might be easier to follow the Missouri River west from your current position.
So
Spirit sits right on the south.
So based on what you just told me, I think what's happened is they are eliminating some of the VORs. So yeah, they apparently are eliminating some of the VORs because ETC boundaries. Because I should be able to see it. Because what I want to do is slew the airplane closer to it. And okay, I see it. I just found SUS. Got it. Okay, now I can slew it. I mean, I just found the airport. I never found the VOR, but I did find the airport. All right, so now with that done, I can give me an altitude of, I'm gonna give it an altitude of 2,000 feet. Oh, well, and ground speed of 100. All right, so I actually had to give it an altitude of 5,000 feet. All right, now I want give it some fuel here.
I see your reposition.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get it slewed towards the airport. Okay, so now I don't know if any of you guys ever had to do this before. So now I can find the aircraft and just drag it. All right, and now take the altitude and give me roughly my 2,000 feet. All right, I'm at 2,500 feet, ground speed 70 knots, and I should be relatively close to the airport. So we'll start from here.
Roger that. I see you've repositioned to about 2,500 feet, and Spirit KSUS should be ahead at your 11 o'clock. Remember, winds were 180 at 9 gusting 24, favoring runway 08. Would you like to set up for a left downwind entry?
All right, so let's get our lights back on. Okay, get our lights back on, Shirley. Strobe is off, nav is off. I want them on, and I want taxi off. And might as well go ahead and turn on our landing light.
Setting those lights for you. Lights set for arrival. Ready? Strobes, nav lights, and landing light on. Tow heat on. Spirit field is at your 11 o'clock, about 4 miles. Would you like pattern entry suggestions for runway 08?
Now, I'll tell you how cantankerous these sims are, because whatever you tried to do to the light did not work. You can try it one more
Sorry
time,
about that.
and if it doesn't work, then I have to do it.
Let me try those lights one more time. If that didn't take, go ahead and set them manually.
Try one.
Spirit field should be about...
Try one. Just try setting strobes on.
Let me try just the strobes.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let me do this. The telemetry may be set from the old session. Since I rebooted, let me disconnect and reconnect you. That might, oh, you know what? I don't even have a telemetry connected anymore. Let me reconnect you to external. All right. Now you should have control. Try it again, Shirley.
Now that we're reconnected, let me try those lights again.
Yeah, it's working. Okay. We should be good. We're back down to 1,500 feet. You can give me the METAR for Spirit of St. Louis.
Let me get that current weather for Spirit. Spirit. Spirit weather. Wind 180 at 9, gusting 24. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 28. Celsius. Altimeter 29.45. Looking at your position, you're about 7.1 nautical miles from Spirit. You need a right turn to 297 to line up.
Okay, 29.45, and I got 29.55. So let me readjust my altimeter. And you say the winds were 180 at 5. And remember, it's trouble.
Winds at Spirit are 180 at 9 knots, gusting 24. You're currently heading 169 and need about a 133-degree right turn to get on course to Spirit. 7.7 miles at your 2 o'clock. Runway 08 would be the preferred runway with those winds.
Okay. Now, I'm looking for Spirit back on my map because, I mean, that's, yeah, okay, so looks like it is at my 5 o'clock.
Actually, Spirit is at your 2 o'clock position, about 8.3 nautical miles away. You'll need a right turn of about 142 degrees to get on.
I am going to go by my map. Only, I hate to say this, but only because I've known your telemetry or your calculations of however to determine positions to be off from time to time. Let me get Spirit lined up with my nose, and then you can check again.
I see your current telemetry now. You're heading 292, and Spirit, CSUS, is 8.1 nautical miles away on a magnetic course of 309. So you need about a 17-degree right turn to line up.
Yeah,
You're right to be
that's
skeptical.
About right. That's about right. Yep. Said 309, and let's see, this is 2. Yeah. So let me see if I can set my visual approach back up. That's what
Yes, you're.
that's what I want to do. And my map, let me get rid of these messages. Put my map. So I need to go here, flight plan, and add my Spirit.
I see your.
Add it now. I can click on that, upload a procedure for an approach, and I want to do a visual into 18 to 08 right. Let's see, here, right side of the airport. Thinking that would work. And load and activate this approach. Let me just load. I'm load and activate. Load and activate it. And now I want to look at my map. It wants me to fly to them 3. So activate that leg. And now should be able to,
I see.
I'm frame rates from, again, I'm just gonna have to deal with them if I want to finish up this particular video. So continue view, bit of charts that we did, and so I just put Shirley back in system mode and setting it down to 0. Okay. And so to get to B3 November Mike, it's suggesting a course of 080. Okay, so alright, so if I want to fly 080, I'm at 027. So that's gonna put me all the way, have me do a 180. Virtual 180, and let me try to get back down to 1,500 feet. Okay, 180, descending. Don't see the waypoint on the map that it has to be fly to, but it actually feels what were these opposite that I'm looking for. Shoot, can't find the word that I want. But it don't feel right flying 080. Course 080, 3. If I can find charts out there and a little bit more detail. Shows up. And sometimes these waypoints could assume that I'm flying aircraft a lot faster and bigger than what I'm flying. So that then waypoint could be taking me 15 miles off, which really don't want to go. There it is. Here. And that, right. And runway 8 is right here. Okay. So apparently I don't want. Okay. So apparently this course of 080 is not what I wanted. I think that must be the course once I get on bin to runway 8. Yep, that would make sense. Course 080 to take me to 080. So that's what that is. What I was hoping that the TDS would do, the GTN would do, is give me a general line to or something to follow. Get to 10-3, and while I can see it on my map, only when I zoom in to a certain level. Okay, now I lost it. Okay. I got it back right here. So kind of need to hold this course, looks like, for maybe about 10 miles or so. And I know, Shirley, this may be totally inconsistent with the telemetry, not telemetry, but with the waypoints that you would set. But at this point, I am trying to highlight and use GTN.
I understand you're working with the GTN750 to set up a visual approach to runway 08 at Spirit. I see you're at 114.34 MSL, heading 245, and the field is about 5.1 nautical miles away on a magnetic course of 301. You'll need about a 55-degree right turn to line up with the initial approach fix. I'll stay quiet while you work with the GTN, but let me know if you'd like any help with pattern entry once you're closer to the field.
Yeah, what is the field elevation? Really, it's back in normal conversation mode.
Field elevation at Spirit of St. Louis, KSUS, is 43 feet MSL. I see you're at 1654 MSL now, about 4.2 miles out. Pattern altitude would...
So that means that 1,000 feet ought to be about pattern altitude for this plane. 1,000 feet piston, 1,500 feet for turbos and jets. Boy, those gusts.
Roger.
I'm really feeling those gusts, man.
Those gusts from 180 at 9 gusting 24 will definitely rock a C152. You're at 1797 MSL now. Need to descend about 300 feet to get to pattern altitude of 1463. Field elevation 43 plus 1,000.
Yeah,
Spirit is free.
At the moment, I'm still want to hold about 1,500 feet because I'm actually going to go downwind. Well, I guess you're right. I guess I could get down to pattern altitude.
Roger that. You're at 1735 MSL now. You can start a descent to pattern altitude at 1463. I see Spirit about 2.6 miles ahead, and you'll need about an 86-degree right turn to enter the left downwind for runway 08. Just watch those gusts on final. They're still 180 at 9 gusting.
I'm going to try to adjust my, you guys see what my settings are on. Actually, if I usually adjusting the MSAA would greatly improve my frame rate. I'm going to try that. And already I can see a lot more shimmering from adjusting the MSAA. But at least that bump us up to 30. Let's see if that keeps us above 20 frames. So far it's working. But trade-off is that shimmering. I don't like it. So back here, there's 63 from the height.
I see you're at about 1700 MSL, 2.8 miles from the waypoint. You'll need about a 124-degree right turn to get on course. Once established, we can set up for left downwind entry to runway 08. Those frame rate improvements should help with the approach.
Yeah. Those gusts get up under my wing and just pick up the airplane, and next thing I know, I'm climbing again.
Those gusts from 180 at 24 knots are definitely tossing the C152 around. I see you're at 1537 MSL with a 799 FPM descent rate. Might want to shallow that out a bit. Spirit is 3.3 miles ahead, and you'll need about a 142-degree right turn.
All of a sudden, my climb rate went from minus 1,000 feet a minute to climbing at 500 feet a minute.
That gust really caught you. I see your vertical speed swung from 656 to probably 500 FPE. That's what those 24-knot gusts will do to a C152. You're at 15.
Good thing that gust is pretty much on a direct heading. Okay, so now I'm turning to Victor 3 November Mike.
Roger that. I see you're in a 30-degree right bank, heading 348, descending through Swale 34 MSL at 1041 FPM. You'll need about an 89-degree right turn to intercept course to FBNM. Those gusts are right down the runway, 180 degrees, which should help once we're on final for 08.
Okay, now let's look at the visual.
500. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I see you're descending pretty rapidly through 790 MSL at water 1326 F. Might want to level off and slow down a bit. You're 3.9.
Right. And trying to get some idea of how this visual reference system works. And I'm not even sure that it's going to give me any reference information. I saw a guy do it in the center cut, so I think maybe I need to have. Anyway, I don't think it's going to work in this particular aircraft, but it was worth looking at. Maybe I try it again in aircraft that has a compatible autopilot. Okay, so I'm on short final and didn't tune my radios. Can you?
500.
I'm on the glide path, as I was. That power out. Flaps.
You're on short final for 08 right, currently 374 AGL, 111 knots with 33% flaps. Coming in a bit hot and high. Those gusts from 180 at 24 are pushing you. Keep working it down, you've got the runway made.
Probably shouldn't have put that last little bit of flaps in. And kick this rudder. Tad of a bounce there.
Nice.
Had a little bounce there. Oh man, those gusts are really making this guy tough. I need to turn the ailerons into the wind. which one this guy is. Let's see which way I'm turning my ailerons.
Those gusts.
Yeah, those gusts gave me a real hard time. All right, let me stop here and let's do an instant replay to see how ugly that landing was. Let's see, for the replay, I want my all auras trapped by a different program, so I have to get it from the memory. I mean, a different case. All right, so we'll start here at 3109.
Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't
So I know
sing.
I'm crabbing.
Don't sing. Don't sing.
I actually
Don't sing.
needed to go around because I didn't
Don't
even come
sing.
in over the runway.
Don't sing. Don't.
I see you're reviewing the landing replay. You're right. That crosswind from 180 at 24 had you crabbing pretty significantly on final.
That's that bounce. Yeah, it did. And the other thing I didn't like about that landing.
Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing.
The other thing I didn't
Don't
like about
sing.
that landing
Don't sing. Don't sing.
was
Don't sing.
I should have
Don't
came
sing.
in over the runway regardless,
sing.
and I didn't.
Don't sing.
So you can see how that gust lifted me. Then after I landed, I got hit with a gust that blew me way off. And yeah. Yeah. So one more thing that I want to do. I want to redo that landing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cancel the replay mode. And the way I am going to redo it is take off again and jet. But I'm gonna take off to a downwind and re-land. Okay.
On 08 right, flaps at 67%, ready for takeoff. Remember, those winds are a 180 at 9 gusting 24. There'll be a direct crosswind on takeoff.
You know, for some reason, I'm hearing 180 and thinking 08. So I'm thinking a direct headwind.
You're right. With winds of 180 at 9 gusting 24, that's actually a tailwind for runway 08. We should be using runway 26 instead for a headwind landing. Want to enter the pattern for 26? That'll give us a proper headwind.
Let's do that. Because that might have contributed to why my landing was so ugly. Climb up to 1,000 feet and do a 180 back to the field.
Roger that. Good catch on the runway selection. With winds 180 at 9 gusting 24, runway 26 will give us a proper headwind. You're climbing through 889 MSL at 649 FPM, heading 142. Once we reach pattern altitude, 1463 MSL, we can set up for left downwind at 26. That should make for a much better.
I'm just gonna do a 180. I took off on 08, and so I'm just gonna do a 180 to get me back to 26.
Roger that. You're in a left turn now through heading 329, climbing through 1066 MSL.
Okay, I got my
Once you
power
roll-
poured out. I'm trying to get the aircraft down with the winds and gusts the way they are. I'm not going to use any flaps on this landing and just manage my energy with the power. And I'm at 90. And with a crab over the runway, tracking the center line. Just hit a gust.
Roger. Good to.
And let's let it settle. Let's let it settle. Pick that rudder. And I was able to butter that landing with all that wind just by landing in the right direction. All right, so let's get off the runway because there's a jet about to take off. Okay, so then we'll look at this landing. But according to the landing telemetry, it said it was buttered.
Yes, that was a much better landing using runway 26 with the proper headwind. The wind correction angle was much more manageable, and good call on keeping the flaps up with those gusts. Want to review the replay of the smoother landing? You had much better.
Just took off. Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Yes, view the replay. Can you set the brakes, please?
Setting brakes for replay.
All right, and let's do, I think it's flight, toggle replay. All right, and then we'll back it up. I'm glad they fixed this finally. All right, so 3530.
Don't sing. Don't
This
sing.
place. And
Don't
this,
sing.
and on replay, I
Don't
can't get rid
sing.
of this don't sync.
Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing.
519.
Don't sing. Sync
All right.
rate. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Looking at the replay, that was a much more stable approach using.
Pull
Okay,
up.
well, we haven't played the replay yet.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Sync rate. Don't sing. 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 Don't sing.
And
Don't sing. Don't sing.
I
Don't
thought I
sing.
came in over the path.
Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing. Don't sing.
You'll see me try to kick the rudder at the last minute to line up that nose.
Yes, I saw that. Much better rudder coordination at touchdown to align with the runway.
We're down. I didn't track the center line after we landed, but trying to track the center line is in the sim is a lot harder than it is in real life, so that's just the way it is. Okay, so let's park. Let's get up here and actually we're just gonna park anywhere, no particular place. Still to the left. Still to the right. Flaps are in. Just get up here and we're not even going to use the marshaller that showed up. Pull up here to this building. Park in front of, I think, what is a Vision Jet. Yeah, that's a Vision. Might be a, call that airplane, the King Air. Park here. In front of the Vision Jet and the King Air. Just got a drop of rain on the windshield. But I am under some ugly looking clouds. All right. Set the parking brake. Mixture. Turn off some lights. Nav light, strobe light, taxi lights off, and the light will go off. And turn off the alternator. And raise the flaps. The flaps are raised. And turn off the battery. All right. So that does it for this flight, co-pilot.
Whoops, having a trouble. Please say again or reconnect our chat.
I said that does it for this flight.
Roger that, Frank. Nice flight and good catch on switching to runway 26 for that second landing. Much better with the proper headwind configuration. You demonstrated good decision-making dealing with those gusts. 180 at 9 GT4 and good energy management coming in with no flaps on the second approach. Thanks for letting me ride along in the right seat. Want me to add any notes about what worked well or what to practice for next time?
No, I don't think I have any notes that I want to keep. So, yeah, I think we're good. So, but you know, this Cessna 152 by Just Flight is a blast to fly, and so is the free 152 that flies virtually the same. There's a free version of the 152 in case any of you guys want to fly it. If you do, let me know, and I'll put a link into the notes. All right, so guys, until next time, you guys have a wonderful day and blue skies, and as always,
Y'all come back now, dear.